So listen, it's kind of like this. What I think about a young wide receiver compared to what Aaron Rodgers thinks about that same young wide receiver. Not exactly comparable things. Good morning to you. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Steelers. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates that I hope you'll check out. Steelers versus Panthers, the preseason finale is tomorrow night at 7:05 p.m. That's in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'll be flying there later tonight to cover that for the DK Pittsburgh Sports app. And to kind of continue yesterday's theme about WR2 or the rest of the wide receiver room in general, I arrived this morning with musings on Ramon Wilson. Now, Wilson has been the subject of a whole lot of conversation in the broader nation for these past few months. And understandably so. Third-round pick, came out of a good college program, came with expectations at the time, meaning as a rookie, that he'd be able to contribute right away. That, of course, didn't happen. He had an injury in camp that created one setback after another, and then, of course, he was unable to catch up to the figurative moving train, and poof, there went 2024. Well, new year, new opportunity, new everything, really, as it applies to the offense, but specifically a new number one quarterback who isn't about to let him off the hook. And right here, I believe I've found the convergence between my own skepticism about Wilson that I've shared with you several occasions, and why, in contrast, Mason Rudolph has told me he really thinks the kid's got a lot of potential. Here again, Rudolph would know way more than I do. And then why Aaron Rodgers was moved to speak the following after practice yesterday on the South Side.
I think he's improving, every day. I think, you can't skew the results from the details. You look at his game the other night, he made a couple splash plays, but we're going to coach him hard. His receiver coach, Bart, myself, on the details, because the details are what make the difference. And even though he had a couple big plays, there's some room for improvement there. Wouldn't say anything if we just thought he was just going to be a guy, just any guy that could do a throw in. But I think he has a chance to be a big time talent in the league. So we're going to hold him to a high standard. So I'm really happy with him, the way he's played. But we're going to hold him to a standard of excellence that I think he's capable of reaching.
My friends, this is good stuff. This isn't Rodgers coming in and trying to impress people that he's the leader of the offense or anything like that. I'd like to think I can discern the difference. This is Rodgers, at least in my estimation, recognizing that this team needs Wilson to be exactly what Rodgers is describing there, which is a detail guy, which is a professional, which is a high-standard guy, the most powerful two words that Rodgers uttered there. And as such, Rodgers and Zach Azzani and Arthur Smith and, of course, Mike Tomlin appear to realize that they're going to have to ride him to get there. Now, what does that say about Wilson? Well, here again, from my own perspective, it says that a big component of the moving train in 2024 was that he wasn't in on all of these details. He wasn't ready to run the routes that he needed to run. And he wasn't about to get that opportunity at midstream. Whereas now, when you see Wilson bust open, even for a little bit, and fight for that football the way he did on that throw across the middle from Rudolph the other day at Acrisure Stadium, they're not about to say to him, hey, kid, you're fine. This is awesome. Just keep it up. They're using it as even more of a carrot to keep becoming even more diligent. Now, what's this have to do with the stuff that I've said about Wilson and why I continue to be unimpressed? Honestly, it's pretty much the same thing. Where others might see, hey, wow, he got it open across the middle and real nice bullet throw from Mason there, and he did a good job adjusting to it, and you love to see that, and go kid. What I'll see is a cut that took way too long to develop. What I'll see is a break that wasn't executed when it was supposed to be. But then what I'll see is that he's got the athleticism, the ability to overcome that. Well, you want to know something? That's only going to make you half of a really good wide receiver, because Wilson doesn't have the size or the stride to overcome lackluster route running over the course of a career. He just doesn't. We all say anytime Wilson's size comes up, well, Antonio Brown was the same size. Okay, you want to do that? We can do that. What else did AB have going for him? Oh, right, the most impeccable work ethic in the entire National Football League. And route running that was beyond precise. An ability to get open that made AB one of the legit best wide receivers any of us has ever seen. So that, as I see it, is what we're all viewing here. We might be coming at it from different angles, even opposite angles, but it amounts to the same thing. The moving train, in the case of Roman Wilson, is his commitment, or not, to becoming everything that these guys, now headlined by Rodgers, expect. When we come back, J1Q. This segment of Daily Shot is brought to you by our good friends at Mike's Beer Bar. They're located on Federal Street, directly across from PNC Park. Mike has more than 500 beers on tap, including from more than 50 local breweries. Stop in and say hello. Tell Mike we sent you. Mike's Beer Bar. Finding great candidates to hire is hard. Too many resumes, not enough people with the skills or experience you need. But not with ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter finds amazing candidates for you fast. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. After you post your job, their smart matching technology starts showing you qualified people right away. Also, ZipRecruiter lets you connect with top candidates ASAP. You can use their pre-written invite to apply message to reach out to your favorites and encourage them to apply sooner. Ditch the other hiring sites and let ZipRecruiter find what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Today's J1Q comes from Ed, who asks, with all the players who show up at Steelers camp, how long does it take before you can put names to all the faces? Or is it more that you're looking for where the stories might come from and focusing on a subset of the whole? It's not easy, Ed. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm also here to admit that I don't really try, especially in a setting like Latrobe where you're seeing all, whatever it is, 90 of them at the same time, and they're moving all over the fields, plural. And there are even some players who wear the same number. You've noticed this, I would imagine, in the preseason games on either side of the football, like a 78-0 and a 78D. And what I do try to do, and this isn't just for Steelers, this is also when the Penguins get to Cranberry and when the Pirates get to Bradenton, I will identify players that I know I'm going to need, including further into the future. And I'll make an effort not just to look at the face and identify that with a name, but also, to communicate with them. That's one of the beauties, for example, of the Steelers rookie camp, is all those draft picks. They're the only ones who are there. Well, them and the undrafted free agents and so forth. But the picks are all there, and they're not mixed in with any other veterans or even, second-year guys or whatever. It's just them. So if, for example, I have a good talk with Caleb Johnson, which I did at rookie camp, I'm going to strive to have another one with him at minicamp, which I did. I'm going to strive to have another one with him out in Latrobe, which I did twice. So then, when I bumped into Caleb in the locker room in Jacksonville last week, there was a mutual recognition. And we stopped and talked a little bit about how he did, and that ends up opening a door for better content for you, whether it's for this program, whether it's for the video shows that we do, whether it's for the written content on the DK Pittsburgh Sports app. If there's a familiarity there, there's going to be a comfort level there. And in turn, there's going to be a little bit more candor. So it's not really about learning all 90. It's way more about picking who you believe is going to end up being relevant and focusing on them. Now, is that fair to everybody? No, of course not. But neither is life. And if you want to make an impression, and this applies to whether it's if you're a player, your teammates, your coaches, or even unimportant people like me, then perform. I had to find a way to start talking to Brandon Johnson. Why? Because I watched him perform. He impressed. He was one of the better wide receivers out in Latrobe. Good for him. So when I'd heard some rumor that he was hurt the other day, I could very comfortably walk up to him in the locker room, this was on the south side, and say, "Hey, Brandon, something about your toe or whatever?" He goes, "No, man, I'm fine. It's all good. And it worked out. I appreciate the question, Ed. I appreciate everybody who listens to Daily Shot of Steelers. Really appreciate hearing from literally hundreds of you via email over the past 72 hours, ever since I put forth the offer for a severely discounted subscription to our app, meaning the premium level of our app that has no ads and all kinds of other good stuff. If you download our app and you'd like this severe discount for yourself on the premium version, email me at dk@dkpittsburghsports.com. Spell all that out, no abbreviation for Pittsburgh. dk@dkpittsburghsports.com. Off to Charlotte.